Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Phil Gould of course, the crew chief for the 42 team, and Carson Hosevar as well. How's it going?
It's going well. Just busy getting ready for Vegas.
All right. Of course, no race this weekend for the trucks. Of course, their next races, as Phil just mentioned, will be in Las Vegas next weekend. So just kind of talk about just how overall how the off season went. From talking with Carson before Christmas, it sounded like obviously the trucks are a little. You guys upgraded your equipment a little bit, and things have really gone well for you guys.
Yeah, the off season was good. We were able to retain most of our team from last year, and yeah, we built a couple new trucks. We rebuilt a couple older trucks we've had. And, we really didn't work many weekends. We left for Daytona feeling as prepared as we've ever been. And we were excited to get down there and just keep the ball rolling here as we go.
Yeah. So kind of just talk about just, getting ready for the season, going to Daytona. This is, I believe your third year working with Carson.
Yes, third year.
How that's been going.
It's been going really well. Our relationship has grown over the years, and I knew Carson a little bit before I actually started working with him. Just from him, he's like family to us. He's always hanging around the shop, and even early on when he came around, when he wasn't driving for me, I would stay and hang out at the simulator and help out there. And so we already had some language going before we ever started working together. But it's grown. Carson's almost like another son to me. And he's grown and maturing as a driver, and the whole thing has just been gelling really well.
Yeah. Just kind of just talk about what just how much this program has grown, especially really within the last 4 years since really the win with Ross back in 19.
Oh, there is no comparison. And in 2019, we had some trucks here, older trucks. We were on kind of a alliance deal with GMS. We didn't have a lot of people. We only ran 2 trucks. We bought a lot of stuff. We weren't running any simulation. And here, you turn the page to 2023, we're hanging our own bodies, building our own chassis, doing all our own, simulation work, thanks to tools provided by Chevy. And, I think we probably have about 40 employees right now. I think we had less than 10 in 2019.
So really just coming, with this and working with Carson, improving all the equipment, this seems like it is, you guys have came so close so many times, throughout the last few years. It seems like, sometimes you're gonna break down the door, and one of these days the door is gonna collapse. Is this the year to do it? Because I know you got some solid tracks coming up for you guys.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, like you said, we came so close last year so many times. And, like you said, you keep knocking on the door, it's going to fall. And you could look at various different reasons why some of them races, slip through our fingers. And we've been working hard on, just looking at what our weaknesses are and strengthening them, but also look at what we've done well and make sure we keep doing those things. And, I'd say I'd be disappointed if we don't win, more than one race this year and make it to the Final Four and compete for that championship.
Yeah. When you look at just how has Carson improved the last few years?
I think he just, obviously he's got a lot of raw natural talent. He has, just a lot of speed. And it's really amazing to me how fast he picks up on tracks that he's never been to. It really is amazing. And then, but, they're also, you got to look at the other part of it too is, I think the maturity side of it is probably, held us back a little bit. And then that's a lot to ask of, he's 20 now, but, 19 last year, a lot of pressure. And, and I think as time goes on and we don't knock that door down and get that first win, the pressure builds and pressure can make you do things, you normally wouldn't think you would do. And, I think it all just boils down to getting that first win. And once the monkey's off the back, I think Carson's probably going to win a lot of races.
Yeah, for sure. It's usually when you win the first one's always the toughest, and then the rest just come. But
Yes, for sure.
obviously, you've been at Nice for a long time. I know you're working with Carson. Of course, also your son Matt is also with his career as well. Can I just kind of talk about just his growth over the last few years?
Oh yeah, I mean, Matt, we've been racing together since he was 6 years old, and I told him even way back then, he probably doesn't even remember, but I said, if we're going to do this, rule number one is we have fun, and we have done that, and we have some help from Nice, and then a lot of it is just out of the family budget. The late model is just housed at home in our garage at home, and you know he goes to school and I go to work, and then we go home at night and we work on race cars. So um, I don't know. I enjoy it. I probably wouldn't have it any other way. And I think we ran 16 late model stock races last year. We were lucky enough to win a race at Hickory, and really was solid there all year long. And got to do the 2 ARCA races at Milwaukee and Toledo. And I thought he did really well. Obviously, I'm partial, but this year the plans are still kind of up in the air. We're definitely looking at doing some more late model races. We're a little behind getting ready here. We were sold our old car, and we're in the process of getting a newer car together, and we're just between my work schedule and budget, we're a little behind making the season openers. But yeah, we're going to get out there and do some late model racing. ARCA stuff I'm not sure about. We just have to see scheduling wise and what all happens. But definitely love to get them out there in some more ARCA races also.
Yeah, for sure. It just seems like this year, from talking with everybody, it seems like the truck field has just been more competitive than it's been in a long time.
Yeah, it definitely is. You got, I think a lot of people probably counted on Zane moving up, but he's coming back for another year, and I think he'll obviously be a force to be reckoned with. Then you got a lot of good rookie talent coming in, and then you have the old veterans. I feel like Matt Crafton's probably due for a resurgence this year, and obviously Ty Majeski was really strong last year. There's a good 10 to 12 trucks that can win on any given weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about the next few tracks for you guys. You got Vegas coming up. You got Atlanta coming up, I think, and also Coda as well. When you look at these next 3, what do you feel like? And those were some pretty strong tracks for you guys.
Yeah, we've really been looking forward to Vegas. We ran really well there last year. We qualified the greatest, maybe 13th or so, and then we drove and led the race by the end of the first stage, on the racetrack without any strategy. And then we kind of got off track a little. We had a bad pit stop, and then spun out there, and still rallied back and finished in the top 10. So I feel like our trucks are better now. Carson's got more experience. We've improved our setups. Like, we're really looking forward to Vegas. Atlanta is kind of a crapshoot. It's more of a speedway race. So it's all about track position, obviously, and drafting, and a little bit of an unknown because there's a year of weathering on the track. How much grip is it going to truly be like a speedway race like it was last year? And then there's no qualifying there, or no practice. We just show up and qualify. So little element of surprise there. And Coda road courses were one of our strong suits last year. We ran really well at Coda last year. Sonoma, obviously, even Carson being hurt, sitting on the pole, and the driver changed, and we still walked out of there with the top 5. In Mid-Ohio, we ran really well also. So anytime we go to road course, I think we all look forward to that.
Yeah. And then really just what does it take to get around a track like Vegas?
To me, Vegas is really probably the biggest test of your program, because you need, max downforce, but you need efficient downforce because you're going to be almost wide open. There's going to be a lot of grip at night. You're at some point you're going to be in dirty air. Your truck has to drive well in dirty air. You obviously, with the next gen type practices, you have to unload and be really close on your setup. You just can't be. There's not enough adjustments if you're way far off. And obviously pit stops. You can't give up a bunch of spots on pit road and expect to have stage points and good finishes. So really, I think it's the ultimate test of your programs. For mile and a halves, it's just funny how the schedule works out now. You make it to playoff time. That's where the bulk of the short tracks are. And that's one of our weaknesses that we're working really hard to try and improve is our short track performance.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Phil, thank you so much for taking some time out of your today to talk with us, and best of luck next week at Vegas.
Thanks for having me.